Hey, thanks for stopping by the Great Lakes Disc YouTube channel. I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and today we're interviewing Dick Parker from Grip Equipment. Grip Equipment makes some of the best bags out in the disc golf world. I'm the proud owner of, well, more than five, let's just say that. I've enjoyed their product almost the entire time I've been disc golfing, and I'm excited to hear what's coming down the pipe from Grip and also to give away this Grip sponsored athlete Kyle Klein signed discs. Stay tuned to the end to find out how to do that. Without further ado, here's Dick. And welcome back. Thanks for viewing. Remember to like and subscribe. Maybe even if you enjoy the convo, hit the share at the end. But without further ado, this is my friend Dick Parker from Grip Equipment. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your origin into the sport or into the game or however you want to go down that path?
Sure. It's a long story. I'll keep it as short as possible, but my origin story of disc golf started probably in about 1991. My parents, at the young age of about 12, 13, sent me to a church camp here in the state of Kansas, where I'm from. And there was a camp counselor who had created a frisbee golf object course, set up cones with tee boxes. He had a couple ribbons to denote where you needed to hit on the tree or the object that he had set up. And we go out and we play these 9 holes. And, I thought, man, this is fun, watching a frisbee fly. It was my first experience. I wasn't really much into golf at that time, but the idea of just being able to control a frisbee and having an object was pretty exciting for me as a young man. And then fast forward to 1996, I had graduated from high school. I was about 18 years old, and I was introduced to a cult classic called the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm going off the beaten track here, but
I love it. Keep
uh,
going. Keep going.
it there was these Friday and Saturday night showings at midnight, and I was out of high
Yep.
school. A buddy of mine was like, "Hey, man, we should go do this." So I did, and after a few weeks, people started to notice me. I was an interesting person. I grew up in drama, and so I was very loud and talked a lot. So I attracted a lot of people to me, and they invited me to an after party. And at that after party in Westport, which is kind of where everybody went to party as a young person growing up in Kansas City, I met a man, Thad Stevens, who no one will know from, Tom or Harry, but to me, he was the guy who said, "Hey, maybe tomorrow you want to go to Rosedale Park in KCK and play Falf." And I was like, "I don't know what that is, but I'm having fun tonight, so let's go." So the next day, we piled into a truck, and he drove us out to the park, and he gave us a DX Cheetah,
Ooh,
me and a buddy of mine, an AVR, and
yeah,
some
buddy.
other shark or something, I'm sure it was. And we went out and started playing, and I was hooked. I remembered it. All of those memories from my, young adolescence just came rushing back at that moment. And I could just see myself doing it for a long time. And then, 2001 came around. I really started taking it serious and got involved in our local disc golf community, Kansas City Flying Disc Golf Club. And I started volunteering and being a part of the scene, and eventually helped with the 2009 World Championships, and then became a national tour director for the Kansas City Wide Open, and many other things that we'll probably delve into as we talk more about my relationship with Grip. But yeah, so that's kind
Yeah.
of how it started. It was a weird upbringing, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love where I'm at today, and I love the way I got here. So
As a person who also learned how to disc golf at a summer camp, shout out summer camps. Like it's great. And any summer camp person that's listening to this, I got 15 years in the overnight camp business, so I'd love to help disc golf come to your camp. Give me a call. Help you do that. And also as a person that has seen the midnight showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show a few times, classic and way to make that a little bit more human felt story. I like that one,
yeah,
Dix.
well, I'll give you one other thing. My name is Dick. I go by Dick. I was originally a Richard at some point in time in my life. I don't claim that name anymore, so please call me Dick if you see me. But That same night, meeting those people, they loved me so much they made me the MC of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I actually did for a number of months. And they said my name Richard wasn't good enough. And my friend Jeremy from high school, who I'd went with, who we were doing this together with, he goes, "Well, I call him Dick, and he hates it." And he never called me that. I never had a reaction to that, but it stuck, and I've been a dick since I was 18 years old. So now 45 and
Yeah.
living it every day.
Eh, as we grow, we mature, something like that,
Something like
right?
that.
So how did you get involved with grip equipment?
Oh wow. So Grip Equipment was started here in the state of Kansas, in Lawrence, Kansas. Growing up in Kansas City in the disc golf scene and being a part of the inner half of disc golf, really kind of let me be a part of that beginning and knowing a lot of the things that happened at the beginning. But really, it was through being a tournament director for 20 years. I had worked for a Disc Golf Hall of Famer, Rick Rothstein, with Disc Golf World. I was his general manager from 2012 to 2015. And at that time, so Grip kind of started in 2008 as a college thesis. It was about creating a premier bag in the disc golf market, something that hadn't been done at this time. If we remember, Revolution was probably the top of the line bag.
Yeah.
People
If
were,
you
yeah, go ahead.
if you had a Revolution bag with Phoenix quad straps, you were
Yeah,
basically balling.
that was it. I mean, that
Yeah.
was, you were paying $100 and maybe $25 for a pair of straps. I mean, that was expensive back then. That was,
Right.
some people still today think that's expensive. But so the idea in this thesis was to create a premier disc golf bag from the ground up, what disc golfers wanted. So, we sent out, I say we as Grip, I wasn't a part of the company at the time, sent out a survey to disc golfers all throughout Kansas City, Wichita, Kansas, and other places, and asked them. They said, "What do you want to see in a disc golf bag? The best of the best, and what price point would you pay?" And that thesis got an A, and went on to become what we all know today as the premier disc golf bag in the market. It came out as a $200 bag, and in 2009, people were like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And it stuck. Having a quality bag with a lifetime warranty on it really got into it. So how I got involved, without just being a part of just watching that happen and watching that growth happen in 2008, 9, 10, 11, when
Yeah.
I started working for Disc Golf World, Grip had came to us and said, "Hey, we want to delve into the retail market. We want to put our bags in retail stores, and Kansas City seems like the ultimate place to do it. We're Kansas City. It is our hometown. This it feels right." So at the time, Dynamic Disc had just opened a store in KCK, so it was Disc Golf World and Dynamic Disc Kansas City. These were the two stores, the powerhouses. So they Grip put bags into both of those stores, and if you Google the A13 bag from Grip, you'll actually see a little story about how Disc Golf World was the first store to start carrying Grip bags. So I was the first retailer to actually sell a bag to people out in the market in our Kansas City area. And from there, being a tournament director, uh, procuring sponsorships for events in Kansas City by going to Grip and saying, "Hey, can we get a bag?" They'd throw me a bag, and I became the de facto sponsorship guy for Kansas City. If you wanted a Grip bag at your tournament, you called Dick, and he knows the guy. He knows the guy.
Yeah.
So that kind of happened, and that was 2012, 13. And over the next few years, we became friends. The owners, Matt and David, would take me out to lunches, and we'd talk, and about running the Kansas City Wide Open in 2014 as a national tour. They wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to sponsor it. So they took me out. They wined and dined me, and I said, "Guys, you should just hire me. I'll sell your bags." So I started saying that, and every time I saw them at the end of the conversation, I go, "You guys ready to hire me yet?" And yeah, so in about 2017, they called me again and they said, "Hey, Dick, we got an idea." And they took me in, they gave me some ideas of what they thought I could, do working for them, but it would be keeping my normal job. And I was like, whoa, I'm good, man. I don't need two jobs.
Fair. Yeah,
And
fair.
yeah. And then in 2000 and January of 2022, they called me again and they said, we have a more serious offer for you. We want to talk to you. And they laid it out for me. I told them, I was working a job running a warehouse for janitorial sanitation supply during the pandemic, of all places, to sell toilet paper and sanitation.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, I got a good job. So, uh, it'll take a lot to pull me away. And, they said, we need you. And they showed me what they had. And I said, I'm all in. Let's go. So for the
Nice.
last few years, I've been the director of sales and community engagement for Grip Equipment.
That's awesome. And you're, as far as your community engagement goes, I gotta give a shout out to Paulina, who helps with some of your social and goes to some of your events. She's on our team at Great Lakes, and she's just the sweetest person that I think I've ever met in disc golf. So shout
Yeah,
out
she's
Paulina.
awesome. She's awesome. She makes me look good at my job. So
And great job then.
yeah.
Let's say I got somebody that walks in our store. They don't know anything about, top level bags. What's something they should know right away? What's the number one thing you think a consumer should know about your bags?
That's a great question. The number one thing is we make a high quality bag. We make what we believe to be the best bag on the market. I think that's number one. Number two, we have a lifetime warranty, one that we stand behind 100%. I hear I shouldn't say all, there's not tons of them, but warranties, when they do come in, I hear the stories, and, for the most part, it's just manufacturer defect warranties that we cover. But, man, it's hard to say that we've turned down a lot of claims. We want our customers to be happy and we stand behind our product. So I think that's the key thing. Another thing, and this is kind of going to sound salesy, but it's what I like to tell people is, a lot of the bags that we see on the market, and I won't talk bad about any of them, but what I will say is that they are essentially a book bag that's been turned into a golf bag. What we did was we built from the ground up luggage. We wanted to carry your disc like luggage because you care about them, so we care about them as well. So we overbuild our bags. We build them to the top specifications of what we believe disc golfers want in the market. So
Well, I see a few of those products behind you. So in your time working with Grip, whether it's with the store or now in your role you're currently in, do you have like a favorite product or color combo or size that's ever been produced?
yeah, yes. There's probably a couple. I'll say the one I use most often is the CX1. I believe that the C bag carrying 14 discs in your main compartment, 3 up top, is ideal for every walk of life disc golfer that goes out there. If you're getting into the sport, I have a personal feeling that I don't believe people need 50 discs. I don't think you need 50 when you go out. I have a philosophy that you need to, uh, you know, bring it down to a more simplistic approach when you get to the tee box, because if you have 50 discs to pick from, that also means you have 50 decisions to make. So my favorite product is the CX1. My favorite product that we ever came out with was very early in Grip's kind of coming up. It was before the A series, so it was about 2012. It was the L series, the original model, which you can kind of see one of my
Yeah.
black and gray ones back there. That's the
Oh
second
yeah.
one. Yeah. We came out with a very, very limited number of all black. They called them murdered out back in those
Yep.
days. It was all black. And then the embroidery had lime green, pink, and black. There were maybe 30 of each of these made. And that's probably overshooting it. Any facts that anybody spit today could be completely wrong. So
I've
please take
seen a
that as a
black,
grain of salt.
black, black one, and it is truly murdered out.
Yeah, it is totally murdered out. Those were actually you had to, as a retail store, and there were only so many of them at the time. We were kind of early in that inception. Whoever sold the most grip bags got one or two of these very limited bags to carry in your store, and that's how
Yeah.
they were distributed. And yeah, we had, us and Dynamic both were at the top of the food chain. Obviously, we were kind of in the beginning there, so we were able to get a couple of them, and we had the lime green one and the pink one, I believe. And those were just so cool, man, because it was just different than anything else you had seen out there in the market at the time. And I still look back at those fondly. We have one at our annex, or what I call the vault, that I get to look at every once in a while. But you know, it was pretty cool. Still one of my favorites.
That's awesome. Like I said, I've got many of your products, but I do use the red and blue G series from Amnats as my computer bag on the daily. So that's the one people probably notice me use the most. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
not just a
I
disc
like
golf
the G
bag.
series. I think it's an underrated bag. If you ever see me out there on at the courses or at tournaments, ask me about it. I'll give you my opinion. I think they're a great bag, and I think they're very underrated. Uh, Funny story about those is I was hanging out with Doug Bjerkis back when he was still with Dynamic Discs, and he goes, "You know, Dick, I can't carry your bags. Obviously, I'm here at DD, but I gotta
Right.
say, I love that little bag. I don't think it's for disc golf, but I love that little bag." I go, "Of course it's for disc golf." He goes, "Well, I keep a bottle of bourbon in it. You know, sorry, Doug,
Yeah.
keep that quiet." But that's his bourbon traveling bag, which I think is pretty unique. So
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bourbon bag or a TD cup or whatever you want to call it. We've all got our own version of it around here.
there you
So
go. There you go. Our bags are multi-use. I mean, you got a child, you can use it as a diaper bag.
for sure.
You got a bottle of bourbon, you can use it as your carrying bag. So
Yeah. You got an A series, you can have it both in one. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Diaper
See
bag and bourbon bag.
people
Oh
are putting
yeah,
their paddles in those bags, and multi-use in the grip lineup. So
for sure. So, I know you've only been in your role a couple years, but as a fan of disc golf and someone that's been in the industry for a long time, do you have like a favorite memory of like grip on tour or like a great shot from anything or a great advertisement or something that really stuck out with you?
yeah, so I mean, probably like you, I consume a lot of disc golf. I consume more than I can remember. Um, so I probably answer that question by saying probably my best memory in the last 2 years that I've been with the company, so where I've really been heavily invested in Grip as a brand, was at Champions Cup last year. It was the first time that I was able to, in my role, I'm also the pro team manager, so I get to handle a lot of our pro team. And I was able to put together a lunch, or a dinner, I should say, after one of the rounds where I got some of the best players in the world all together for a dinner where we got to sit down and break bread together and talk and laugh. And it was just, it's, I got into disc golf because of a community feel, right? It was all
Yeah,
about connections that we had with each other. So for me, being able to reduce people down to a human level is always it's special to me, right? So we didn't talk a lot about disc golf. There was a little bit of talk about disc golf, but it was
yeah,
really about talking to Paige Pierce about doing karaoke, and a song would come on the radio, and her and Owen and Missy are just singing at the table. I mean, things that people don't get to witness. Those are the kind of memories that I'll always cherish, and I think are more special. And I hope going into this year I'll be able to do that more with our team, and be able to share those experiences.
yeah. That's awesome. It is part of the fun of getting to know these players on the human level is too. So that's great. You mentioned that you were the pro team manager, and I know because I'm a social media for lack of a better way to put it, that you have added many new players to your team, both from the the influencer, and the pro level. What does someone like you or your company look for in team members?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it's multifaceted in a way that is really hard to put together in just a simple discussion. Obviously, from a pro team side, being a good player, being skilled is definitely something we look for. That's great, but also having social media content, being a content creator. A lot of people get into disc golf and they think, "Oh, I'm just going to make myself the best player in the world." But honestly, from our standpoint, when we're sponsoring somebody, having somebody who has content and that can create content and be relevant in social media, especially in Instagram, which I think is probably one of the leading forces in social media for disc golf, to be able to put something together that's unique, that brings people to your channel, no matter what it is. I always look for the people who are more unique and not kind of doing what everyone else is doing. I think that's great. If you catch on and you do good at it, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a big thing. Also, having a love for our product prior to being sponsored is big. I know when I was putting together the junior team this year, I was looking for good players. Key thing for me was some of these young boys and girls who were possibly going to be playing in Tulsa Worlds this year. That was kind of a big thing because we really want to highlight them during that time. But also, as I was kind of looking and researching and seeing who was out there, what kind of social media presence, probably as your parents put together for you, which is great. And then also, and just also how much you liked our bags to begin with, because it's one thing to throw a bag on and say, oh, Grip is the best because I'm sponsoring you. It's another thing to automatically think it's the best bag. And then we want that because you're going to give us a real visceral reaction to the product when you're out there, and you're going to want to promote it because you've already liked the bag. So
Yeah.
a lot of different things. And then on the ambassador side, it's definitely content creation, content. Uh, yes, we want to find people with followers, but I got people with 1,000 followers. I got people with 25,000 followers.
Yeah.
So there's no real like number. It just means that you're trying, that you're putting out constant content for people to absorb and take in. So
Yeah, consistency is key. We look at obviously lots of players, and that's something that I do as our manager or team person, I guess, as well. So yeah, for sure. And again, as a non-sponsored grip player, I love all your products. So yeah, that's key to do that. Those people looking for
well,
things.
you're creating content. Maybe next year we can talk, Brian. We'll see.
I don't know, it might be a conflict of interest. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I just like the bags for sure.
sure.
So last year for me and everyone else that was at Ledgestone, we saw the new ATS model come out, and we've seen some teasers on people's social media posts about possibly another product or two coming out this year. I would never ask you to break news on a thing that will get 200 views, but I would ask you to maybe hint at what kind of fun I'm going to see and what I'm going to spend my money on towards the end of this year.
Sure. I'm not going to tell you, but what I will tell you is 2024 is year of the grip. There
Year of the
is
grip.
some exciting things happening, like what you're talking about with Ledgestone and some other things cooking up. I will tell you that just keep your eyes and ears open soon to grip-eq.com or at GRIPeq on all of our social media platforms as things are announced and brought forth to light for you. Anyone who's a fan of our product is going to be very excited about what is in store for Grip in the near future. So I'm excited about it. As someone who's been carrying a bag since 2010, I've had Grip on my back. There's no other bag out there for me. I will tell you that I'm excited as a fan as well as an employee. So I think that the overall public will be very thrilled to see what's coming down the pipeline. But I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you it's coming soon. So be watching.
Like soon first quarter, soon second quarter. Give me a couple winks. Tell me
I'm
how
sorry
many.
you're breaking up. I can't hear
Yeah,
you. The sound
yeah.
is terrible in here.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry
sure it
about
is.
that.
Well, Dick, I can't thank you enough again for your time today. You've been a great interview. Your email that you sent to me prior to this, you were like, "Oh, I don't know what I could talk about. I don't know." You were wonderful. You were great, Dick. I appreciate your time.
No worries.
Your products are great. If you're out there listening to this all across the world, visit Grip's website to grab one. And if you happen to be, traveling through West Michigan sometime, swing into Great Lakes Discs and see all the various ones we have on display. Put some bags, put some discs in it, feel it, know what you're buying before you get it. It is a great product. Again, can't shout out the lifetime warranty enough. That's just huge in this time of the world. You don't see that a lot. So thanks again. Oh, we almost didn't do the giveaway. Hey,
Oh,
Kyle Klein's on Team Grip, so we have to do a giveaway of Kyle
that's
Klein.
my guy right there, Kyle Klein, man.
Right there. So we've
Awesome.
got this glow Shogun, I believe. from him signed when he visited up here this winter. So all you got to do is comment your favorite grip bag, series, and color. That's it. You can't just
That's
say
it.
A series or B series. Give me the color that you like the most too. Any of the old school purple C series, by the way, I need one. So if you're walking around with one, I need one of that. But yeah,
I have a vault, Brian. I don't know.
I need an old school purple C series. I'm on the hunt for it. I won't lie to you. So I appreciate y'all. Remember to like and subscribe, support disc golf industry by going and following all of Grip's socials as well. Until next time, peace. Keep it in the fairway.